For as long as I've been in the Lost media community, I've noticed the constant fascination with Lost Kids show content. This is the kind of stuff you'd see on PBS Kids or Nick Jr. Personally, I love searching for this kind of stuff and unearthing the earliest iterations of content that influenced the kids who grew up with it. Recently, there seems to be an increase of interest when it comes to kids media, and likewise has inspired the search for another piece of Lost media, the Super Y pitch pilot. If you don't know what Super Y is, well, I'm sure you're kind of familiar with its characters, as one of them was stolen and used for an antivirus commercial, which became a pretty popular meme. However, the real show debuted on PBS Kids in the late 2000s and ran through the mid-2010s, becoming very popular. It uses CGI animation and depicts the characters with exaggerated yet realistic features, each one of them with a signature costume as well. Though you might be surprised to see what the original iteration of the show was going to be like. The pitch pilot, created in 1999, uses a completely different style of animation, that being stop motion. On top of this style change, the show itself looked a lot more abstract, with softer colors and an overall more childish tone. According to summaries of the plot, the main character, named Super Y, is 6 centimeters high and lives in a children's library. When he has a question that needs an answer, he asks popular storybook characters to help. But unfortunately, we can't really get a grasp on how this concept is illustrated or even how smooth the animation is, because the pilot is lost, which is largely where the mystery begins. The visuals that I've been referencing came from the old website of the company that animated it, Cup of Coffee Animation, and no videos or clips can currently be found. However, the pilot did have a screening at the Annecy Film Festival in the year 2000. Its runtime was 9 minutes long, and it even won an award for its educational value at the event. Despite the praise Super Y received, Nick Jr. did not pick up the series when it was pitched to them, and after that, it disappeared, until the PBS revival we know of today. Though rumors have since popped up which claim during its dormant years, the pilot aired on Nick Jr. and was once available on the Cup of Coffee website, but these are unconfirmed and I couldn't find any proof of it myself. That's not to say there hasn't been new content found since the search for this pilot began, and I have a few leads I've been trying to get in contact with who should know something as well. Once the topic started gaining attention, one of the first pieces recovered was a reggae tune that was supposedly used as the pilot's theme song. It got passed around quite a bit and was reposted to YouTube, where discussion of its legitimacy came into question. Thankfully, the original upload was able to be tracked down, where it was discovered that the song came from the composer's own website, proving it's real. Though it was eventually discovered that the song went unused in the pilot itself. It was still a cool piece to find, and got the ball rolling for more leads to be found, which is where things get a little strange. I had started looking more in depth into the pilot at this time, and mostly only had wiki articles to use as sources. While none of the articles I read were too detailed, there seemed to be comment threads that popped up discussing not only names connected to the pilot, but also rumors that someone in the community had already found it. Taking that with a grain of salt, this began my contact search as I started to find names buried online who stated they were associated with the Super Y pilot or Cup of Coffee animation. I surprised myself with who I was able to find, most notably a storyboard artist who worked on the pilot itself and a Cup of Coffee executive who oversaw all the projects they were working on back in the 90s. They were both contacted weeks ago, but I unfortunately never heard back. As of the making of this video, they've been contacted through different addresses, so here's hoping to get in touch with them eventually. While I was waiting for them to reply, I had contacted Cup of Coffee Animation itself, thinking they might still have a copy in their archives, but I never heard anything back from them either. Finally, I had thought about contacting Angela Santamero, the creator of this pilot, as well as Blue's Clues, but she must get dozens of messages, so I figured this one would go unanswered. While this was wrapping up, I went back to the comments section and noticed that the threads had been updated to claim that the guy with the pilot was going to upload it, around the same time I sent my contacts messages. While I would have been disappointed all my searching was for nothing, it would have been okay if it meant getting this thing found much quicker. Unsurprisingly, that didn't happen, as the user who claimed to have it was just trolling, as I figured from the beginning. However, I would argue that maybe it ended up working out because it got me to dig deeper and actually make progress in getting this found. This topic in particular doesn't seem like something that'll be impossible to find. There seems to be enough people out there who know about it, and Cup of Coffee is still around. I have a feeling Super Y will find its way online eventually. Until that happens, however, the Super Y pitch pilot from 1999 will remain a mystery. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out some of my other game-related Lost Media videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Finn.